This July, a battle will commence. A three-way war between the happy clowns, the sad clowns, and whoever those guys are. I happen to find myself allied with the happy clowns, and my 10 soldiers will be accompanying me in this fight. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce them. Hello everyone, I'm Aim, and this year will be my first year doing Artfight. I've heard a lot of people talking about character introduction videos, so I thought, why not? I have YouTube, I have Artfight, let's make one. I have 10 characters uploaded this year, but next year I'll probably have a lot more. Before going over any of my characters, I would like to quickly go through my global permissions that apply to every single character. I would not like to receive any ship art unless I specify that that character can be shipped. Quite a few of my characters are related or see each other as family. Make sure to keep all body proportions, scars, and body hair as close to the reference as you can. I provide color palettes for every character, so there should be no reason for the skin tone to be changed. And there should not be any gender blending of my characters at all unless specified. If you are to post any attacks online that include my characters, please make sure to credit my Artfight account and my YouTube account, both under the same name. Things that are allowed and welcome for any attack is changing my characters' outfits. Some of my characters are big fashion buffs, or I just don't like their outfit and would love to see different outfits on them. Any sort of interpretation of my character through weirdcore is also accepted, as I absolutely adore that style. Gore and eye strain is allowed. I am a horror artist myself and would love to see some of my monster or zombie characters all gored up and creepy. Now that all of my permissions and stuff is out of the way, I would love to start going over my characters, starting from my least favorite to my favorites. First up is Styx. He's a vampire that was born in 815. Yes, that does make him 211 years old. He is pretty low in my ranking because I kind of hate his design and I can't get any sort of clothes to work on him, but his personality is what shines. Styx is stoic and not at all charming. In a conversation, he will stare at you with the eyes of a disappointed father no matter what you say, because he is a pretty disappointed father. Styx has a habit of picking up anyone he can find, including Tabby, one of my other soldiers here on Artfight. He loves teaching the younger generations how to appreciate what little time they have on Earth, and he hates being alone. Next up is Feng. I don't really like him out of all my characters, and I have no idea why. It's probably because he's a newer character and all of my other characters just have so much more sentimental value. He doesn't have much lore development, just a really cool design, which I do absolutely adore. I will give what little I have for him right now. So, imagine Tundra Komodo, but in ancient China. Then one day he falls into a magic pond and wakes up in the modern era, but fantasy. And yes, I use Tundra Komodo because that is his main inspiration. Now, the rest of my characters are pretty much tied for first place, so I'm just going to go through them in the order that they are on my Artfight profile. Beao is quite literally my oldest OC. I made her when I was around 8 years old, and she used to be my persona, and she used to look a lot more like me, but I made the simple mistake of turning her into the protagonist of a zombie apocalypse comic, and then after many rewrites and redesigns, we have her as one of the main antagonists. As stated in her character profile, her back is broken in so many places that she can't stand or walk properly, and her arms are so heavy that she has practically no mobility in her upper body. The scary part about this zombie is her third eye, which can see through walls. She uses this ability to alert other zombies to your location, being able to attract quite the horde. When she was a human, she worked as a police officer because of her hunger for justice. She was an upstanding citizen and lived with her brother Paris. When the infection first started, Paris joined a gang and Beao found herself infected. Without much direction, Hearse, another character I have on Artfight, took her in and taught her the ways of being infected. Next up is Tabby. I love her so much, even though she is the newest out of all of my characters on Artfight. The first time I drew her was 3 days ago, but she's been written into her story for quite a while. She is one of Styx's adoptive children, and she is human unlike the rest of the vampires in her narrative. She loves dressing up all cute to go and kill those pesky bloodsuckers who have gone a little crazy since something happened to the local blood banks. She's a girl's girl and will do anything to cheer others up. She has gotten quite good at killing vampires under Styx's wing, and has made quite a few friends. She's even allied herself with Styx's mother, Zenith, the first vampire. Tabby has almost no ability to show fear in the face of danger, though she will break down later when she's all alone and surrounded with her friends. Now it is time for Hearse. She is featured in the same story as Beao, and they are pretty close. Hearse is the main antagonist, but she won't take credit for it, preferring to stay unknown and underestimated. She is part zombie in a way where she is infected, but she also has the conscience and language of a non-infected. She can shapeshift into whatever she has eaten, much like Tamaki Amajiki. She is pretty quiet and reserved, and she has a pet dragon named Burb, who, unfortunately, I forgot their existence when making Hearse's reference. Burb is a tiny blue dragon who can shapeshift into a blue jay. Just reference Azimondius from the Dragon Prince when drawing Burb if you want to. Also, gender-bending Hearse is alright. She is a shapeshifter. Riven is my persona, but they are also a fully fleshed out character because I wanted to give them lore and felt weird about giving myself lore. They are a wizard who lives in a small rural town with other wizards and sorcerers. They specialize in magic like telekinesis and teleportation, and they also have a twin sibling who just so happens to be my sibling, Raven's persona. Coincidentally named Raven. They are twins who used to travel the stars together, but got separated and crash-landed on 2 different planets. They know of each other's existence, but have no means of contact because they are stupid. Neither of them know how to use telephones, send pigeon mail, or connect to their twin telepathy. Blig, who I may or may not love a little more than the rest of them, is a bubbly optimist who totally has no trauma at all. He's the creator of the universe and every living thing, and he really just wants to have a quiet life with his family. He would be living a quiet life if it weren't for the fact that his son was exiled from the land of gods and decided to wage war on the underworld and release the monsters in the void. Now he has that problem to fix, on top of another mysterious person he's forced to work with named Kumo. Did I mention that Blig left Kumo to die hundreds of years ago and he still hates him for it? Did I also mention that Kumo was the one that exiled his son Feng, and Blig has every reason to hate him back, but decides not to because he'd rather do anything but fighting? Blig is another one of my characters that you are free to gender bend, as he can alter his form freely. You may also give him arms and any other limbs he's missing, but there should be no reason for a lick of hair to be on top of his head because of the Blig curse. When he was created, he left a curse on the entire universe that prevented anyone else from going bald ever. Speaking of Kumo, here he is, the second being to ever be created. Not by Blig, though. He has complete control over the elements in nature, something Blig has no right to even touch. Kumo completely hates the creator of the universe for the reasons I listed in Blig's section. Kumo has set out to destroy everything Blig has and ever loved is the ultimate revenge. He absolutely loves fire and can produce it from thin air. The 2 outfits provided are the outfits he uses throughout the story, and he can be drawn in either one you want. Second to last is Nate, or as my friends lovingly call him, Nathaniel the Grathaniel.
And Natest the greatest.
He is also partly my persona, though I don't use him as much anymore. He loves playing video games, especially Minecraft and Roblox, and he claims to be a master PvPer, but apparently is really laggy at really specific times, especially when he dies. Nate has a really good life, other than the fact that when he was 6 he attempted to summon Herobrine with his friend Alex, and recently has been being tormented by whatever creature he summoned because his luck ran out. There is no official design for the creature named Vitlu yet. All I know is that it has some sort of split comedy and tragedy mask. So if you want to draw Nate being tormented by it,
mystery.
Go wild. Now it is time for the favorite child, Bobby.
Yippee!
He is a very flirtatious ghost clown. How did he become a ghost? Well, he was born at a very young age, and his backstory up to this point is kind of irrelevant. When he was 6 years old, he got a clown nose stuck on his face and was doomed to an eternal life of clowning around. And as he grew older, he met 2 people who became his clown buddies, Primrose and Aaron. The 3 of them formed a traveling circus called the Lost Circus. After a few years of performing, Primrose suffered an accident with one of the show animals and ended up dying. Just a few weeks after that, Aaron ended up messing up during his sword-swallowing act and burning to death. Bobby kept the tent up, however. He only stopped after being choked to death during his aerial ballet act. However, he didn't stay dead forever, as one day he woke up in a strange cafe and was taken in by the owner that he lovingly named Millie. Instead of the big top, he now performs in the Lost Cafe. Some of the other members of the Lost Cafe are up on Artfight, and just so happen to be my sibling Raven's child. I am going to go through their connections quickly.
Yo, I'm Raven. I would like to say that the Lost Cafe is my universe that Bobby resides in, so any more lore you can find over on my account. Thank you!
Bro, shameless self-plug! Alright, first up, his connection with Vince. Bobby does not really like Vince because the werewolf hates Millie, but Millie seems to be obsessed with him.
Vince is indifferent to Bobby, but hates how loud he is due to his sensitive ears. He also hates Millie, but Millie is obsessed with him because she has never seen a real-life werewolf before.
Bobby absolutely hates Eric's guts because Millie seems to have a crush on Eric, and Bobby is absolutely obsessed with Millie.
He actually really likes Bobby because he gets Millie off of his back a lot.
Bobby really wants to be the friend of Lord Midas Clochador II, and one of his life aspirations is to touch that peacock's feathers. They look really soft. And Bobby has also bestowed Lord Midas Clochador II with the name Lourdes, which he despises.
Lord Midas Clochador II despises Bobby because Bobby stands and lays on tables, which is not elegant at all. He hates how Bobby interacts with the guests, and he thinks Bobby is a peasant and despises clowns as well as jesters. Despite having his own personal jester due to being wealthy, he doesn't really like his jester. Okay, Lord Midas Clochador II cannot associate himself with the clown, as Bobby is poor and has never licked a gold bar. Lord Midas Clochador II also cannot stand the fact that Bobby wants to touch his tail, as if he would let a peasant touch his feathers.
And those are all my soldiers. Feel free to comment down below if you are interested in any of their lore, as some of them have fully fleshed out stories associated with them. Have a great art fight, and remember to be a good sport and stay respectful.